Into Covington, Tennessee here on the first prep high school football game of 2018 here on Tubetown. Thank you for joining us. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here to bring you all the play-by-play action as you're watching the opening kickoff of the 2018 season, taken back to the 15-yard line by Donovan Dotson for the Covington Chargers.
Swarm of Munford Cougars there on the stop. I mean, you really think 2018 football season, high school prep football right here on Tubetown, brought to you by Ritter Communication. I mean, it's a great time to be alive, Andy.
Great time to be alive indeed. We live for this time of year. We know a lot of people here in the South do as well. Football season is here, and you can feel it in the air. Both stands are packed. These two towns only a couple of miles apart. They love this rivalry game to open up the year. Down the near sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A nice run on the first play from scrimmage from Keyshawn Gant, one of the leading Chargers for Covington last year.
Yeah, I mean, first play of the game, you come out, run a little sweep around to the near side right there, as you can see on the replay. He got out of bounds. I think he went out about the 36-yard line, so it's going to be a nice first gain for Covington.
So now 1st and 10, Brock Lomax back in the shotgun formation for the Chargers. Seen him play the last 3 years. There's a handoff up the middle for Page. Page with a hole across the 50-yard line down to the 45 and mark him at the 43 and into Munford territory.
Yeah, good 20-yard scamper right there. Got it into Munford territory. So we're seeing it here like we sort of predicted in the pregame that Covington's going to come out and push the ball and offensively just try to dominate Munford on the front.
And they were dominated last year by the defensive line of Munford, so definitely playing with a chip on their shoulder here. There's a little option. Lomax going to run it up the middle. Got a lot of running room, and he's going to take this one to the house. An opening drive touchdown for the Covington Chargers and senior Brock Lomax.
You know, that's one thing we didn't expect to come out here at the very beginning. You see Lomax run up the middle, break one tackle, and then he's off to the races. We had sort of known coming into this game that the passing attack that he had the ability to do, knowing that he's 150 yards away from having the school title for most passing yards by one individual player. But, I mean, there you see he's a dual threat. He can get in on his feet and take it 44 yards for the touchdown.
A 44-yard touchdown scamper on the option from Lomax. Extra point is good. And it's a 7-0 lead for the Covington Chargers in the opening 2 minutes of the first quarter here in our first football game of the year. A 44-yard touchdown rush, a 3-play, 85-yard drive for the Chargers.
Yeah, while we got a little bit of time here between kickoffs, so we'd like to thank our sponsors who's bringing you the action tonight. Tonight's first half is going to be brought to you by W&W Home Builders, Drango, Hometown Realty, the Town of Atoka, and Homer Skeleton, Ford of Millington. Without those guys and without the work of our crew here, we wouldn't be able to bring you this action here on Facebook Live Tubetown.
So now 10:32 to play here in the first quarter. Again, that drive only took a little less than a minute and a half off the clock.
You know, Andy, it's strange we come out and we expect Munford to have the ground attack, really pushing the ball, time management, but sure enough, Covington comes out with 3 plays or already got 7 points on the board.
Munford's going to have their turn at it now as Eli Irvin is the return man there for the Cougars. Brings it out to about the 17-yard line, and that's where Coach Nick Markle and the Munford Cougar offense will set up.
Yeah, we're going to see Jashawn Adele come out starting under center for the Cougars. So this is his first start as QB for them. He's the senior on the team. They brought him in, and it'll be really interesting to see how tonight plays out, knowing that he's got big Noah Robertson right behind him.
Well, if you ever seen Georgia Tech play football at the collegiate level, their offense is very similar to the Munford Cougars. You're going to see a lot of option plays, a lot of motion from the tailback and running back, as you see there on the opening play for the Cougars, but it did not look like Jay-Sean Adele really handled the ball all that well from the get-go. Andrew Scott breaking through the backfield and coming up with a sack.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there. I think they're going to take them back maybe a yard or two. So I think what happened there is Adele turned to his right expecting the back to be there, as you see it on the replay there, and just no one was there to give it off. So early jitters, I mean, that may be something that plays into this, knowing that we're not even 5 minutes into the start of football season.
Yeah, 2nd down and 11. A play will be taken back to, I believe, the line of scrimmage, not even the original line of scrimmage, so it should be 3rd and 11. And you talk about that option play where quarterback turns and there's no one there. We saw Munford run that a lot last year, only the quarterback does a 360, fakes the handoff to the right and spins and hands it off to the left. But that one, it did look like he just turned to completely the wrong side. So we'll see what they draw up here on 3rd and 11. 2 wideouts, one on either side of the running back. It's a run up the middle, and it will be stopped for a gain of about 2 yards. And we have a 4th and 9 coming up for Munford.
That's going to be Munford's bread and butter right there. It's going to be that fullback draw right between the tackles. If that's something that they cannot get going here in the early going, time management is something they're going to really be concerned about. If they are not allowing Lomax, Gant, Page to come back onto the field, that's how they're going to win this game. But 3 and out first drive, I mean, they've accumulated all of 2 yards so far.
Cordarius Page is standing at the Charger 43-yard line, waiting this punt. There's the snap. Good snap. Decent kick. It'll bounce at about the 44-yard line, and it'll be touched at about the 42. So favorable field position for Covington as they come back out on the field for their 2nd drive of tonight. Still the first quarter with 8:17 left to play.
You know, head coach Marty Wheeler for the Covington Chargers has to be extremely happy with how these first 2 possessions have gone. I mean, you come out with your offense, 3 plays, you're in the end zone, go the length of the field, your defense comes out in a primarily run attack, and they stuff them for essentially no yards. So I can only imagine Wheeler is ecstatic right now with how this has gone.
Lomax going to be dragged down by his waist before he could get back to the line of scrimmage. No, it looks like they might have marked him at the line, so no gain. 2nd and 10 coming up. A little busted option play that time from the Chargers.
Yeah, simple run-pass option. I'm not sure if he was actually looking to pass, but decided to keep there and was lucky to fall forward to the line of scrimmage.
So now 2nd and 10 coming up. Lomax in the backfield with Gant standing to his right. Page lined up at tailback over on the left side. Lomax wants to roll out to his right. Got a man across the middle. Now he's calling out for a blocker. He's across the 35-yard line and pushed out of bounds. But he does pick up about 7 yards on the ground, so good field awareness there by Lomax, tucking it and running with it.
Yeah, we're going to have a late flag come in here. I think it's going to be late hit out of bounds on the Cougars. You hate to see that. I mean, you had a team that you stopped him on 1st down. 2nd down, it was a busted play, and he was able to scamper for some, but now you're going to tack on 15 here, and next thing you know that the Chargers are going to be just right there entering the red zone.
Yeah, I think you're right about the late hit there. It looked like Lomax had already made his way out of bounds, and though it wasn't a very rough shove, he was pushed.
Yeah, I mean, this early in the season, the one thing that you're worried about if you're for Munford, for Covington, is these kids' health that are out here. They're getting ready to start a grind all season long, so to see those late hits, it's just you want to worry about the safety of those kids.
There's Gant running off the right side, makes his way down to the 15-yard line. Looks like he'll pick up about 6. And again,
Gant
he shows his power.
Yeah, Gant with 2 carries already. He's racked up 21 yards, so he's going to be one of the guys that we're calling a lot. I know earlier we were here just scanning the stadium, and his family's in attendance. They've all got their white T-shirts on with the big number 3 on the back, so you know that he's here representing not only himself and, of course, the Cougars, but his family as well.
2nd and 4, 2 wide receivers for Lomax. There's the option. He'll keep it himself, running between the left guard, left tackle, bounces off a linebacker around the 5-yard line, and he is taking it down inside the red zone. and inside the 10-yard line. I think that might have him stopped just shy of the 5, between the 5 and the 6. But either way, it's 1st and goal for the Chargers. They're threatening to score again here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's one thing we knew coming into this, that Covington would have a whole lot of new faces on that offensive line, graduating a lot of seniors last year. And so far, we have not seen that be an issue as far as their running game.
One wide out here on the near side. 2 backs in the backfield. There's Page taking the handoff. Scratch that. That's Gant taking the handoff and into the end zone for another Charger touchdown. 6 minutes remaining here in the first quarter, and it's a 5-yard scramble for Keyshawn Gant.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Cougars have everything to cheer about. I mean, their team is coming out and doing exactly what you draw up first game of the season. And you know last year that 16-6 loss just has to sting a little bit. And they kept that in mind in the offseason, knowing that last year when Covington ended up dropping that game to Munford, they went on to go 9-3 on the season. So, I mean, they've got a lot to play for tonight. So
extra point is good. 14-0 is your score. We'll step aside for a quick break. 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown.
The kind of comfort you can always rely on. The hard-working performance that gets the job done. The dependable equipment that never lets you down. The tried and the true. Here's to reliability built into everything we do. Rely on Root. Get reliable comfort year-round with a new efficient HVAC system installed and serviced by our experienced professionals. The kind of comfort you can always rely on. The hard-working performance.
With all this. Welcome back to Prep Football here on Tubetown. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you as Covington has hopped out to a 14-0 lead over the Munford Cougars. Still the first quarter of action. And the Chargers have not really let up since the get-go, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, they've put the gas all the way down to the floor, and what I thought coming into this would be a primarily air attack by the Covington Chargers. They've come out and done exactly the opposite, as they just have strictly owned the line of scrimmage. There's been times that it's looked sort of like a busted play. It looked like there was some type of communication, but just the pure athleticism of the 2 backs and quarterback for Covington has got them 14 points on the board.
Now, with that said, we've only seen Munford run 3 plays here tonight. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. We'll see if, and that ball is going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a illegal procedure. But I was going to say, we'll see if Munford can get any type of momentum going here on this second offensive drive of their 2018 season.
Yeah, that was a really dangerous kick right there. Alex Cook for Covington gave a little pooch kick to this near sideline. It dropped right in front of Noah Robertson. I don't know if he was waiting to pick it up, or fortunately it rolled out of bounds. So second drive, Munford coming up. They're going to have good field position. Looking over to the sideline right now, you can see Adele, and let's see if this Cougars offense can get in sync and get a few positive yardage plays under their belt.
So ball spotted at the 40-yard line. And we'll see if they can get any momentum going. 2 wideouts, 1 on either side for Jashawn Adele. Again, his first start at the quarterback position. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff goes to the fullback right up the middle, and he is met immediately. Stopped for little or no gain, and that'll bring up second down.
Something you can see right here on the defensive alignment for Covington, they are absolutely loading the box. They've got their safeties deep. That's going to be Fain and Hayes, and they're just basically baiting Munford's, telling, we've got 5, 6 guys here, just beat us and see what you can do. And right now they don't have an answer for it.
Ball is on the ground, still scrambling for it, and I believe I saw purple and gold fall on top. Referee says he saw the same thing. So second play, 5th play overall for Munford, and it's a turnover. Jashawn Adele looked like he got hit and lost it.
I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I'd love to get another look at it to see if it was miscommunication or if it was one of those replays where it fell out of the pocket. But Munford right now, I mean, you can tell from the beauty shots that we have here that they came to play. As we see the replay right here, it looks like, I'm not sure who that would fall on, if that's Robertson or Adele, but you hate to see that. 2 drives coming out here for the Cougars, 3 and out, and now a fumble.
Second possession in a row for Covington, starting in Munford territory. Here's a little end around for Page. Page across the 30, cuts back to the 25, and he's ripped down from behind, just shy of the 20-yard line. Good hustle there by that Munford Cougar defender, because Page had a little bit of running room over there, and he was probably 1 cut away from making his way back to the middle of the field. You see he's got the room there, but right there, the tackle from behind.
Great lead block there by Gant as well. He knew as soon as he broke the corner that Gant was going to be the guy to just run off his right hip, and he's able to pick up a solid 15 yards on that one.
Gant standing to the left of Lomax. He's going to take the handoff this time. Runs right into a Cougar defender who blew past the lineman that time. Kyle Ginn guarding that right side, and he let his man slip right by him. So now that will bring up 2nd and 10 from the 21.
This will be the 11th play that Covington has run so far, yet to try to attempt to pass it. They had that one play. They came near side, and it was a design pass play, but Brock ended up just keeping it and getting a good gain on the play.
Well, keep an eye here. Page is lined up far to the left side. There's the handoff to Gant on the option. Looking for that block from Page. Page had his man blocked, but looked like one of the linebackers got free. He's going to be flagged for a horse collar tackle, I believe, as he got Gant right around the neck of the pads.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they call here, because I know that wide out on the far side had a good block on his defender. I'm not sure if he was holding.
And that, yeah, it was holding.
Hey, I mean,
that's a good call, Ryan.
He pushed him 7-10 yards down the field. So, I mean, that fundamentally, obviously, he was holding, but you love the just the drive. These guys know they've got Munford down 14 right now in the first quarter. Still 4 minutes on the clock, and they're just trying to seal this thing away. I mean, we know coming into this, the last 5 meetings between these two teams have been decided by 2 touchdowns or less. So both of them know that this isn't a game that you can sleep on.
So 2nd and 14 coming up here. Lomax, now he's looking to throw. Got a man downfield. It's Page in the end zone, and he dropped it. No, incomplete. And that was actually Joshua McGarity who let that one fall right through the breadbasket, Ryan.
Well, I mean, beautiful pass, first of all. I will give that. But that is a very difficult catch. I mean, dropped it right in his breadbasket. You can see near side Covington fans are already celebrating because he was that open. But I think when we're not on the field, we take this for granted that he's wearing shoulder pads. He's wearing a helmet. His peripherals are not what they would normally be, and he's looking over his right shoulder, and the ball's coming over top. But, I mean, what a ball right there.
Coach Marty Wheeler's probably in his ear hole telling him, hey, it hit your hands.
I know I've dropped plenty of things that hit me in the hands,
Here's a little double handoff for Page. Page breaks his way through the middle, and he'll score. What a play call by Coach Marty Wheeler. Lomax hands it off to Gant. Gant quickly hands it off to Page, and he uses his speed to break through the second level. Take a look at the replay. There's the second handoff. Page gets it, and once he has it, he's past the linebacker and outruns the safety.
That's a play we would see right out of the Munford playbook. I mean, they run it under center, but that play where you send someone in motion and toss it forward, I mean, that misdirection obviously paid off there. And we're a PAT away from this thing being 21-0 in the first quarter.
Kick is up, and it is good, and we are at 21-0. 3:39 left to play here in the first quarter. Take another break. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Advanced Pools, where your pool is our pool. Here at Advanced Pools, we have been serving the Mid-South for over 25 years. We design and build beautiful custom pools and spas, and we pride ourselves in transforming your existing pool into your dream pool. We offer a full line of services, maintenance, and in-store supplies. We take pleasure in creating the backyard living experience that you and your family deserve. Have an idea for your backyard oasis? Give us a call at 837-7867. Visit us online at www.advancedpoolcare.com or come see us at 201 Commercial Drive in Atoka. Advanced Pools, where your pool is our pool.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Covington, where the Chargers are out 21-0 over the Munford Cougars now, capping off a 36-yard drive, 5 plays in just under 2 minutes with a 25-yard touchdown rush from Cordarius Page. There's the kick. Cougars take it inside the 15-yard line, now out to the 20, up to the middle of the field, and push backward, fumble, ball is on the ground, scrambling for it. Chargers say they've got it. I never saw a referee signal, but it's pretty clear that it's Covington football inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you hate to see that. I know Adele didn't return it right there, but you could see the frustration whenever the head ref signaled that the Chargers had the ball. And once again, Lomax is heading back on the field. Great field position. I mean, they've got it on their own Munford 15-yard line, so just not how you want to see the start of the season for the Munford Cougars.
Well, up 21-0. They are, I wouldn't be surprised to see them open up the playbook here. Brock Lomax only needs 150 yards to become the all-time leading passer here at Covington. Instead, he's going to keep it on the ground and run it up the middle himself on 1st and 10, and picks up a hefty little chunk of yards there. Should be 2nd and 5 coming up from the 10-yard line, I believe.
Yeah, and I believe he's going to have to come out on play. His helmet popped off on that last run, so coming into the game right now, that's going to be number 20. That's Andrew Scott. We have him listed as an outside linebacker on my roster, but it looks like they're going to go with some type of Wildcat set and put the ball back on the ground.
I would say they're going to put it in the hands of Gant or Page, but I could be wrong. No, they're going to let him run it. He does, right up the middle. Right at the 5-yard line is where he is stopped, and Andrew Scott in the scorebooks with a nice little rush, and it's 1st and goal now again for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, I mean, you can tell that they had prepared for that in the preseason, in these fall camps, 7-on-7, that there are situations that happen. Your helmet pops off, quarterback has to come out. So they had a design play. They already knew they didn't have to scramble around and say, hey, Paige, get in the game. Hey, Scott, get in the game. So that was just a great forecasting by the Chargers and head coach Marty Wheeler.
Gant standing to the left of Lomax. Lomax going to keep it himself, following his blockers. Doesn't make it to the end zone, but he does make it on the other side of the 5-yard line. Right about the 4, I think, is well where they will spot him down. .220 left to play here in the first quarter.
This is something we're going to see now, sort of slowing down the pace a little bit, letting the time run a little bit and trying to make sure that no small details missed.
Gant runs it to the left, and again stopped shy of the goal line, and that should bring up, I believe, 3rd down. So 3rd and a couple to go now. Time ticking down here in the first quarter. Under 1:40 left to play. Again, if you're just joining us, Covington hopped out to an early lead over Munford. 21-0 is the score. Page goes in motion. Gant standing to the right. Lomax going to take it himself. Lowers the shoulder. Crosses the goal line. In for another touchdown. And Covington has broken this one wide open here in the first quarter, kind of taking the wind out of the sails on the other side of the stadium.
I can tell you these young men running back and forth, it appears that they have a walker, wheelchair. I think one of them is in a bed skirt as well. That's pretty impressive. But they're going to get some cardio tonight if this pace keeps up. Four scores in the first quarter.
No doubt about it. I just saw those guys. I don't know what they were doing. Oh, the extra point is up and good, and it is now 28-0 with 1:20 left to play in the first.
Yeah, Covington's broke this thing wide open. For all our viewers on Facebook right now, watching us on Tubetown, we appreciate you stopping by and watching this matchup between Covington and Munford. Rachel Henson, thanks for stopping by. Obviously, watching from Atoka, Tennessee, you got David Leonard, Janice Turner, Jennifer Wilson saying, "Let's go Cougars." So, Jennifer, I hope your Cougars can regroup here, because this is getting out of hand quickly.
15 yards, 5 plays. Seems to be a trend here for Covington. So far throughout the first quarter, 1:20 left to play here in the first. Cougars just want to try to get anything going right now. Again, they've only had 6 plays the entire night.
I've got them marked up for about 3 total yards right now, so I really hope they can regroup here and string a few plays together.
Kickoff is muffed, picked up at the 20, and that is where the return man will be brought down. So third time that Jayshawn Adale will come back out on the field for the Munford Cougars. Gotta wonder what the message Coach Nick Markle has given to his team over there.
I would say breathe. I mean, you're 1 quarter into this. Obviously, Covington come out and they smacked you at 28, but that doesn't mean you can come back and do the same thing. We know that time management is a great thing for them, but they also have the senior back, Noah Robertson, back there, that we know is just as capable of breaking one for 80 without anybody touching him.
Again, about 8 guys loaded up in the box here. Adale going to run it out around the right tackle and brought down at around the 25-yard line. So pickup of about 4 on the ground for the Cougars there. Their longest offensive play of the night.
Yeah, that's exactly how that play is supposed to be ran right there. Read option, put it in Robertson's gut. If that DN on that right side collapses, you take it yourself. And I think we're seeing a little bit of pace right here by Munford.
Yeah, trying to capitalize on that momentum. Again, back to that empty backfield. Adale under center. Man goes in motion. Hand off to him right up the middle. Trying to find some room as he bounces back outside, but nothing doing. And he's going to be stopped for no gain. So ball spotted at the 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5. We'll get 3rd and 6 coming up with under 30 seconds left to play. Could see them run this one out to the end of the first quarter, but it looks like they're lined up and ready to go here. Adale with a back in the backfield. He's got 2 wide receivers, 1 on either side, and it looks like a tight end on either end for the Cougars. 8 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Let's see if they snap it before the end of the quarter. They do. Handoff up the middle. A lot of running room. 2 men to beat. Tripped up by his shoestrings at the 40-yard line. And I tell you, that was a touchdown saving tackle that time by Breshawn Dyson.
A good 16-yard little run right there by Robertson. That's what we've been talking about all night. So this Munford offense is so explosive. It's so manipulative that if you get a little bit of misdirection, if you get 1D tackle or linebacker leaning the wrong way, you can break it open just like that. You string a few of those together, you're going to end up in the end zone pretty quick.
So that will take us to the second quarter of action. We'll step aside for a quick pause. We're back with more prep football here on Tubetown, live, local, Ritter Communications.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard only at DQ, and I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's 2 kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst, of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Welcome back to Covington. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you as the Covington Chargers out to a 28-0 lead over the Munford Cougars in our first football game of 2018.
We're live here on Tubetown, brought to you by Ritter Communication. Once again, this is all brought to you by the men and women behind the scenes that put in so much work to make this happen, that we can come into local schools and put on a broadcast so that their names that you typically don't see are put on stage. Obviously, Rachel Henson, I see you're here. Mr. David Leonard, hey, saying hey to both of us, Andy. Kyle
Hello,
Stafford, David Watson, Carol Norris, they're rooting on their team. So let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, and we're going to keep bringing you this action from Covington.
Fake the handoff to Robertson. Robertson looked like he ate the worst of that exchange as he got swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, but it was actually Jashawn Adale running it out to the outside, and he's going to be dragged down well behind the line of scrimmage. So second and about, I would say, maybe 20 coming up.
Well, I think they spotted him forward progress.
Oh, well, they sure did.
So they're going to give it to him there.
I guess I'm just out over here looking, at the 25-yard line.
You're
for
looking
no
at
reason.
that big old American flag hanging by the fire truck in the south end zone.
It's quite distracting, actually. Handoff goes up the middle. No, Adale keeps it himself. And he'll be stopped for a gain of about 2. So now 3rd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, and that's something to say. I know there's a lot of Munford people that are watching right now that are cheering, and there's a lot to be said for having a new line out there, having a senior QB and adapting and getting through this. And these young men are facing adversity right now, but you can see they've come out with this drive. They've actually established themselves, and they're starting to put things together. Great hard count right there by Adele, and I mean that's the kind of stuff you want to see, that type of discipline from a team, especially they're not even 12 minutes into their first game of the season.
2 wideouts here on the right side for Adale. He's got a back in the backfield with him, and good thing he optioned that because his running back Robertson got smoked as soon as the ball was snapped. Adale kept it himself, was able to scramble past the line of scrimmage and pick up about 4 yards on the ground, but that will bring up 4th down.
I think we mentioned this earlier. Something we're going to see from Covington, just because it's the nature of this type of offense you're going against, is these D tackles right now, they're taught to line up just to the left and right of the center, and they're essentially bear crawling through the middle. They're trying to disrupt what Adele and Robertson have going on back there to sort of hurry up. We saw a fumble earlier. Right now they're able to do that. They're able to get into the backfield, but I do not anticipate that going on all night.
Gonna go for it here on 4th down at midfield. A wide receiver on either side for Adale, and about 6 men in the box here. Make that 7 men in the box here. Ran it up the middle, and he was stopped pretty much immediately, was Noah Robertson. He picked up a couple of yards on the ground, but that will end the momentum on that drive for Munford.
That was good to see, though. Robertson broke one out for about 16. They were able to sort of play the field position game. So as far as starting field position, obviously Covington won the kickoff. They received that last one. They were deep, and they ran it down the field. But from the last 3 possessions, this is the worst starting field position I believe they've had so far.
It has, because they've started all the other ones in Munford territory. This one just shy of that, right at their own 49-yard line. Have scored on every drive they've had so far here tonight. See if they can keep up that momentum. Gant, however, met as soon as he took the football from Lomax. Great defense that time from the Cougars, and I think that was, I saw number 35 for the Cougars in there. Can't find him on our roster.
I think Wiggs was in there too. It's going to be a loss of 1, so I mean that's why you want to start out with this this first possession here.
So they've got it 2nd and 10, but it's actually marked 2nd and 11. There we go. They just fixed it on our scoreboard here. 1 wide out on the far right side over there for Lomax. That's Joshua McGarity. He's the one who missed that touchdown a moment ago. Wide open over the top. Caught at the 25, at the 20, the 15. Brought down from behind at the 10-yard line, and a great streak route right out of the backfield for Cordarius Page. Lomax just laid it right over the top of the secondary. Had no safeties back guarding that one.
Yeah, simply if he would have let his receiver there, obviously that would have been a clean walk into the end zone, 51-yard touchdown. Right now, though, I mean that's the 2nd ball that we've seen out of his hand tonight. So that's sort of the rhythm, the momentum that you have to sort of grow into as this gets started.
Nearly cuts that 150-yard mark that he needs to get to in half.
That's one thing I'm going to be.
yards there.
That's one thing I'm going to be concerned about as this game goes on. They've had so much success running the ball so far that what's the need in passing it? What's the need in taking the chance of an incompletion and the clock stopping for any amount of time? Because right now they're not having any issues keeping the ball on the ground and just pushing it down the field.
Short gain that time on 1st and 10, actually 1st and goal, as it's inside the 10-yard line. Ball spotted at about the 6. One wide receiver on the far right side. It's Gant in the backfield with Lomax. Lomax rolling out to his left, looking to the end zone. Got a man. Caught. Touchdown, Covington.
That's big number 44 there on the cop, Rob Hendry. He's able to reel that in right there, get the first touchdown completion of the season.
And a pretty good throw from Lomax as well. It didn't have the greatest spiral on it, but look where he puts it. Right where his tight end could get his hands on it, and only his tight end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a great play. Obviously, that's a play that they're going to go to a lot when they're in this type of this situation. I mean, within the 10-yard line and need to get a big body out in the flat. So good execution right there by Covington.
So Lomax's first passing touchdown of 2018, and it's capped off with another extra point. So Covington now on top 35-0, and might want to go ahead and think about cranking up that turbo clock because we are well on our way. .7:31 left to play here in the first half. It's been all Covington Chargers here for the first about 30 minutes or so. That was a 4-play, 49-yard touchdown, 51-yard touchdown drive there for the Chargers.
We're going to have a timeout here by Munford. I'm not sure if they didn't have the right personnel or what it is, but.
Well, we will take a quick timeout with them as well. Again, the score 35-0. 7:31 left to play in the first half. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Southern Lawn and Pest. Our goal is to provide our customers with healthy, weed-free lawns, athletic field management, and pest-free homes while maintaining the highest level of customer service guaranteed. We use state-of-the-art products and equipment that are proven to deliver the results you want. Give us a call today at 476-8188 or visit us online at www.southernlawnandpest.com and let us help you get the lawn you've always wanted. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and you can find us on Angie's List. Southern Lawn and Pest is the athletic field management provider for Munford High School football and is a licensed, bonded, and insured company.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Covington. 7:31 left to play in the first half, and it's been all Chargers here tonight over the Munford Cougars. 35-0 is your score. Covington kicking it off. Ball taken inside the 5-yard line. The return man slips and takes the knee inside the 5, and that is just about how the night has gone so far for the Cougars.
That's really unfortunate that he was just backtracking, caught over at his head, and more than likely if he would have let that ball go, it would have in the end zone. It had been a touchback. So tough starting field position right here for Munford.
So if you're Coach Nick Markle, got to be a interesting message that you're giving your team here at halftime. Trailing 35-0.
I mean, yeah, he can come in and have a certain type of mentality with his players, but the key is these aren't the same kids from last year, but it's very easy to repeat what they did last year. They have the recipe for success. They just have to find their own identity with this offense.
Not going to do it here on 1st and 10 from inside the 5, driven back to about the 2. As Jayshawn Adale barely has room to breathe as Covington is just bearing down on him as soon as the snap is let off. 7 guys in the box right now. Got 5 down linemen for the Chargers, 2 linebackers. And you see these ends, number 10 and number 20 over here crashing. That time, I think Adale able to make it back to the original line of scrimmage, so it should be 3rd and 10 coming up here.
That was very fortunate because, I mean, the Cougars had definitely played right into the Chargers playbook there. I mean, we saw all the gaps filled right there, and realistically right now, the Cougars just don't have anywhere to go.
Third down, running up the middle. Robertson not able to find any room on that rush either, and should see the punt team come out here for Munford here in just a moment. Got the ball inside the 10-yard line. Cordarius Page going to come out to about the 35-yard line to get ready to take this one back. Back deep to punt for Munford, it looks like Ben Mobley. See if Covington wants to bring some pressure here. Can't handle the snap, doesn't get the kick away. Ball is still in the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown or a safety one. Referee says it is Covington ball, and that should be a touchdown. They're going to spot it at the 1.
You know,
are you kidding?
This reminds me of about, 3 years ago? I think it was Brock Lomax. It was his freshman year, and they had that play that came down last play of the game, run it, zeros on the clock, and there's still some controversy over that. Was he in or was he short? I know Munford remembers it because they got the dub out of the whole thing. But maybe some good graces here, spotting it at the 1.
I think it's pretty much a no-brainer what's going on here. Hand it off to Gant, let him see what he can do with it, and there it is. 1-yard touchdown rush, 1 play, 1 yard. In about 2 seconds, maybe taking off the clock. Deshaun Gant into the end zone for the second time tonight.
Yeah, so that's going to be 2 touchdowns to Gant's credit. Page has a touchdown. Lomax has ran for 2 and thrown for 1. So good early production from the big names that we were expecting to see tonight.
And the extra point is good. Still perfect in the special teams game as well. Outside of that kickoff they let go out of bounds, but it's been a pretty perfect game so far here for the Covington Chargers. I don't think you could really ask for any more out of your team if you're head coach Marty Wheeler.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's some small things that you pick up along the way, because, I mean, you don't want to come in and we're a quarter and a half into this game and have your team get stagnant and not continue to fire off. I mean, I would not expect to see the full gamut of players. Looking at these two sidelines, obviously Covington being the 5A school, Munford being the 3A school, their roster is not as deep, so they can't dive as deep into that. But expect to see here shortly, I mean, up 42, at some point there's no need to have all your big hitters, Lomax, Gant, Page, into the ballgame.
You look at the way Covington finished last year. They finished 9-3. They lost in that second round against Henry County. So they obviously like to see themselves go a little deeper into the playoffs this year. Munford can't go much deeper than they did last year. Made it all the way to the championship game, but dropped that one to Alcoa. And obviously they are missing quite a few seniors that they had on their football team last year. Quite a lot younger team. If you look at their rosters, you know, a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores, only a handful of seniors. So Coach Markle, I'm not going to say he has his work cut out for him. Like you mentioned a minute ago, they've got all of the ingredients to follow the recipe. They just have to figure out how to put it all together.
Yeah, and this penalty right here, the unsportsmanlike conduct against Munford, that's a little bit of that immaturity coming out. I mean, that's extracurricular after the ball. I mean, the flag was thrown at the 46-yard line, nowhere near where the player was even taking place. You can see the frustration starting to develop for Munford right now.
Still waiting for them to see where we're going to mark this ball at. Ball was originally spotted at the 20-yard line, I believe. And so they may mark it back all the way to the 5.
And I know we have a lot of of people from Munford that weren't able to make the trip they're tuning in right now. You got Carol Norris, Frida Lester, Sandy Pusa. I mean, I don't want you to get discouraged here. I mean, your team is down, and obviously that it looks like they have a lot of work to do, but these are young men that they're going to figure it out. They're going to get better. And essentially this game means nothing. I mean, in NFL we have preseason, and in college football we have scrimmages. I mean, this is a way to sort of get your legs about you, and you come into a school district that's quite larger than yours, and right now we're just looking to see some type of continuity for the Cougars.
A wide receiver on either side here for Adele with Robertson in the backfield. Sends a man in motion. Robertson's going to get the handoff. Driven backwards, it looks like, by a couple of Cougars at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, and you said it, Ryan. It is the first game of the year. Certainly nothing to be. You can't let this game ruin the rest of your year is what I'm getting at here. So definite learning situation here for a lot of these younger Cougars. Wide receiver on either side. Adele lines up here, 3rd and about 6. Man goes in motion. Roberts takes the hands off.
No one knows where the ball's at.
Yeah, Robertson got the handoff to the right side, and he was pushed backward pretty quickly. So that will bring up 4th down. It'll be 4th and about 4. Let's see if the Cougars want to go for it. Why not? They're going to take a stab at it here with 3:35 left to play. And now we've got a timeout. Some of these Chargers not too happy about that timeout. They wanted to run that play, but it'll be a timeout nonetheless. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Back here at Covington, Andy Maness and Ryan Short with 3:32 left to play. It's a 4th down play coming up for Munford. 4 yards to go.
I didn't see before the timeout. I'm not sure if Munford was bringing out the kicking team or what they were planning to do. They're being on their own 20 right now.
They were ready to go for it, and I think that Coach Wheeler wanted to make sure his team was in the right position. Looks like they're ready to go now, and again, they are stacking up that box. Got 7 men on the inside, 2 safeties over the top. See what Adele can do with it for the Cougars. Sends a man in motion, hands it off to Robertson. Robertson stuffed at the line of scrimmage once again, met by 2 Covington Chargers. So that will be another turnover on down, 2nd of the night for Munford. And the ball goes back to Covington out, and 42-0, 3:27. You wonder if you'll see, like you mentioned, if you'll see the gambit of stars still out on the field for the Chargers.
Looks like Lomax is going back on the field right now. I see Gann out there as well.
May just keep them in there here for the remainder of this first half. And if they do give those starters some relief, that will perhaps give Munford an opportunity to get a little bit of momentum going. Ball spotted on the 20-yard line of Munford. First play, a little reverse here. Stopped shy of the line of scrimmage by a couple of yards.
I had that same misdirection play. We saw Lomax coming out, trying to put a block on the corner, and he kind of put his head down and was just trying to clear the path, but the damage had already been done behind him, and we've got a flag on the far side of the field right now. I'm not sure who that one's on.
Looks like it's going to be in the favor of Munford. It will go towards Covington. It looks like it'll be, I don't know if that was a false start or illegal motion. Very similar signs from the referee, but either way, the play is going to be backed up 5 yards. I guess it'd be illegal motion since the play was in action. They didn't stop it.
Munford's going to decline it, though. I mean, since there was a loss on the play, 2nd down, might as well. So It's going to be 2nd and 11 right now for the Chargers.
Yeah, so 2nd and 11 versus 1st and 15. So
at this point, you're just hoping for a stop of any kind. And right now, if you think about it, Munford's not playing terrible. They've had a few plays that have been to their own demise, but when it comes up to lining in the X's and O's, they've been able to execute some plays offensive and defensively.
Here's Lomax looking to throw down the near sideline, double coverage, and it's picked off. Picked off inside the 5, taken to the 10, the 15, 20. Now to the 25, and oh my goodness. Oh, good morning, Keyshawn Gant.
Goodness gracious.
He acted like he threw that interception.
Yeah, we've got a few players that are favoring some legs right now. I know I can see Kyle Ginn for the Chargers, and also I think that, don't have him on my stat sheet, that's number 11 for to Munford that they're limping off. They were the players involved in that catch on the sideline that they sort of collided in midair.
Yeah, Kyle Ginn went up in the air to try to make that catch over the receiver. A great effort going up, and he even got his hands on it, but off of his hands, it's intercepted by the Cougar defender. He takes it all the way out to the 25-yard line. A turn of good fortune here for the Munford Cougars.
A very whimsical play, but I mean, sometimes you have to have those go in your favor to get the ball rolling in the right direction. So at some point, I'm curious to see if Munford will go outside of their normal bag of tricks and try some type of trick play or some type of misdirection to try to get the Chargers off their feet, because right now we've seen basically their bread and butter, the fullback dive, the wing back coming over into the right.
And look look how many purple jerseys are standing near that line of scrimmage every single play. As again, this one's run right up the middle, taken forward for a couple of yards.
And I think that's one reason that Munford able to go to the championship game last year. They had that possibility of a dual threat. They had the ability to surprise you in the air, but then also punish you on the ground. And right now, we haven't seen really much of a passing attack.
I'd like to see them try to open it up just a little bit. With as many purple jerseys are sitting in that in that box right now, you would think that they would try to open up something on the outside.
Yeah, but I mean, right now they're 2 plays in, gain of 5. This is what you do. I mean, it doesn't take a smart man to figure out that if you gain 3 yards every play going on 4th down, you're going to end up getting in the end zone. So chip away. They've got, 3rd and 4? 3rd and 4. Just keep grinding, keep doing the fundamentals. Linemen, keep blocking your assignments, and we'll get this thing going.
Here we go, 3rd and 4 coming up. Man goes in motion. Got him to jump a little bit, and it might have been just enough needed to get the first down. I think he's about half a yard shy, depending on where the referee marks him. No, he's going to say first down. They move the chains, and there's a little bit of momentum. And, Ryan, you said it. They just kept chipping away there. That one little misdirection on the far side tight end was just enough, I think, to draw the Chargers one direction, and you see Munford kind of run it the other.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to have to get to here. I mean, you've had success now 3 plays in a row. Don't do anything different. Keep grinding, keep doing your thing. The clock obviously isn't in your favor right now. We're getting close to being under a minute, but you have to sort of have these plays for positive yardage.
There's a pitch on the end around. Met in the backfield and brought down. Great tackle by M.J. Hayes.
Nothing he could do there. I mean, he completely came free, came from the backfield. We're going to have a timeout here by Munford. They're going to try to regroup. I mean, it's still 2nd down and 11. I mean, I would expect to see out of this timeout some type of pass mixed direction, that play where we see that that they sort of hand it to one back and toss it to the other.
Now we'll take a timeout with them. Munford down to 1 timeout. Covington still has 2 remaining here in this first half. 42-0 is your score. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just 1 call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short back here with you in Covington, where the Chargers are up on top of the Munford Cougars 42-0. 51 seconds remain here in the first half, and it is 2nd and 12 for the Cougars, trying to find some life here before the end of the first half.
Yeah, we're live right now on Tubetown Facebook. You guys are watching us. I have to say, the Covington hospitality has been amazing. We've shown up. They gave us food. They gave us everything we need, and this has been a first-class establishment since we walked in the door today.
Handoff, pitch to the left. Ball's on the ground still. Covington looks like they fell on top of it.
They had 9 yellow hats around the ball when that thing hit the ground. I mean, there was very little chance, as you can see right here on the replay. The pitch toss going to the outside, I mean, it was right there, but then you've got just a whole gamut of yellow hats on it. I think first one to come down on it was Fain, and then you just see body after body falling on top of it. And now 45 seconds left. It'll be interesting to see what the Chargers do here in the closing seconds in the first half.
They'll have the ball again in favorable field position at the Munford 29-yard line. Lomax back in the shotgun. Gant to his left. We've got McGarity over here lined up far out on the left. Taking a shot towards the end zone. One-on-one coverage. Threw it over the head of Cordarius Page.
Yeah, so right there they were going for that, we're going to call it about 30-yard strike. So currently sitting, I've got Lomax about 100 yards away from getting that career high record for the Covington Chargers. He'll be the all-time leader in passing yards. So I'm not sure if they'll keep him in the game much in the second half, but that's something that I know Covington will be able to celebrate later in the season as he sort of develops his passing game and has to put the ball in the air a little bit more.
Munford looks like they want to bring pressure here, and they do, but it's a handoff running to the left. Page bounces off of one defender, and he makes his way across the 25-yard line. Now 30 seconds left to play here in the first half, and Covington, I believe, is going to call a timeout. They have one remaining. Munford also has one remaining, and when we come back from the break, it will be 3rd and 4 for the Covington Chargers inside the Munford 25-yard line. We're back in a moment with more live prep football here on Tubetown. Live.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you at Covington High School. Nearly halftime, and the Chargers got a 42-0 lead here over their rival from right down the road, the Munford Cougars. 3rd and 4 coming up here for Brock Lomax and the Chargers.
Getting caught up here on Facebook, Miss Norris, Miss Arthur, Miss Flanagan, Mr. Brooks. Wow, yeah, that interception was pretty impressive earlier.
Pitch out to Gant. Gant makes his way through the traffic across the 20-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds. That should stop the clock, and it does with 18 seconds. Clock will stop anyway as it's a first down. Moving the chains further into Cougar territory, and that's pretty much where they've been all night. So now they're going to run no huddle. As clock is at 17 seconds. It'll go once the referee says they're ready. Starts to run now. There's the snap. Double handoff. Again, Page up the middle, and he's in for another touchdown. Same play we saw him run earlier. Lomax to Gant, Gant to Page, and he's into the end zone for another Charger touchdown.
That was a good little 19-yard scamper you'll see right here on the Ritter Communication replay. That misdirection right up the middle. I'm not sure if anyone even got a hand on him. Looked like he went untouched, and I mean that's obviously a play moving forward that they're going to keep running if they continue to have success with it.
23-yard touchdown rush from Cordary Page. Extra point is up. Oh, and we've got our first missed extra point of the night. It only took him 8 tries to miss one?
That was Alex Cook, and let me tell you, they don't have a net behind the north end zone. I'm pretty sure that ball ended up on top of the concession stand over underneath the Go Chargers King Cotton sponsorship. So he definitely put his leg behind it. It just wasn't in the right direction.
He hasn't missed one so far tonight other than that one. So that was a 4-play, 29-yard drive. Took just a little under 40 seconds to score once again for the Chargers. And again, capping that 4-play drive off was a 23-yard touchdown rush from Cordary Page.
We can see here on the near sideline the Wildcat and Cougars bands. They're preparing for their halftime show. I'm sure that'll be quite a treat for everyone here in attendance.
Low line drive kick, touched at the 20-yard line. Clock will start now to the 25. Tripped up. And they will have 1.3 seconds left on the clock to run a play here in the first half. So time for one more. And we may see Munford just come out and take a knee. .3 seconds left. Munford lines up. Looks like they are going to run a play. We'll see what they want to do here. And goes in motion. Hand off to Robertson right up the middle, and that will be about how the first half went from the Munford Cougars. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, and two teams will head to the locker room. Be interesting to see what Coach Nick Markle says to his team at the halftime break. Coach Marty Wheeler heads into the locker room with his Covington Chargers. They are up 48-0 over the Munford Cougars after the first 2 quarters. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick break. We'll come back with some halftime stats for you right after this. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live, local from Ritter Communications.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short, welcome you back to Covington, where the Covington Chargers out big time ahead of the Munford Cougars after the first two quarters. 48-0 is your score. Not a typo. I didn't stutter. It's 48-0 here in the opening game, the 2018 season. Coach Nick Markle certainly has his work cut out for him here in the second half. Coach Marty Wheeler might be taking the foot off the gas here a little bit whenever they come out of the break, as it has been all Covington from the get-go. They have ran 39 plays and scored 7 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Munford run 27 plays, and they have yet to find the end zone. But again, as we talked about there at the end of the second quarter, Ryan, this is definitely a learning opportunity for Munford. Lost quite a few seniors last year, and they've got an opportunity to kind of rebuild a little bit this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, Munford coming in, we know Coach Markle going against Coach Wheeler, that we've mentioned that this particular series is going on for the last 6 years. This is the sixth meeting between these consecutively, and for the last 3 years, it's been between these two coaches. They've sort of swapped licks back and forth. Coach Markle getting a win and Coach Wheeler getting a win, but you can sort of see just the discipline and just the youth that the Cougars have. But definitely coming out here in the second half, this is a learning opportunity. This is an opportunity to get some of your assignment right, to sort of get some yards under you and hopefully knock off those jitters before you get into regional and conference play.
And just trying to do a little bit of stat tallying here, if you will, just to try to see if I can figure out roughly how many yards of total offense that we have seen here, just to make sure that that's correct. I think that I'm estimating somewhere near like 275 as opposed to 233. Obviously, these stats are very unofficial. We have to keep these on the fly here. But just, again, 39 plays, just shy of 300 total yards of offense in the first half for the Covington Chargers. And again, as you said, Munford, just trying to shake the rust off a little bit, figure out what's going to be working for them this year. And really just trying to figure out what personnel belongs well. I mean, obviously coming into game one, you've got a pretty good idea of who you're going to play where, but those things change over the course of a season. You start seeing guys start to stand out a little bit more. You start to see, maybe some guys not hustling as much as you thought they would have. So the first game is always just kind of a feeling out process, and this year I think is no different for Coach Marco and the Cougars.
Yeah, so obviously in the first half we saw a good dose of Adele at quarterback. As we mentioned, it's his first season. He's a senior on the team. He's out there and he's leading his team for the first time this year. It's obviously not a spot that he thought he would be in last year, but he is taking on that responsibility and he's getting his legs about it. And then, of course, Noah Robertson. He's a guy that we've seen on kickoff return. I mean, he's taken a blunt of most of the blows on offense because just the holes they're able to create. So that's speaking to Munford. They have a lot of work to do in the second half. Speaking to Covington, really no surprise. Lomax came in, quarterback, senior, been starting ever since he could walk, as far as I remember, coming out and having the senior leadership. And, of course, we have Gant and Page sort of leading the attack on the ground. So second half action is going to be coming up soon. I believe the Charger band just stepped off the field. That's right, Miss Kraken. They just stepped off the field. They did a wonderful halftime performance, and I can see that was the Munford band coming up. But now Covington's taking the field, and we're going to get geared up for second half action.
Yeah, we got about 10.5 minutes left before the two teams come back out on the field, and we're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick break and catch our breath, maybe grab some refreshments as well. You should do the same at home while you're at it. If you haven't already, make sure you go and like the Tubetown Facebook page. That way you'll get alerts every time that we go live, and you never know where we're going to be out in your community. So again, here in Covington tonight, the Chargers facing off against the Munford Cougars, 48-0. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you. Ryan?
Yeah, that first half, just want to mention our sponsors one more time. That was brought to you by W&W Home Builders, Drango, Hometown Realty, the Town of Atoka, Homer Skeleton Ford of Millington, and then, of course, we've told you, we're on social media at Tubetown. So we're going to head to break.
That's right. You're watching Prep Football live on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
The kind of comfort you can always rely on. The hard-working performance that gets the job done. The dependable equipment that never lets you down. The tried and the true. Here's to reliability built into everything we do. Rely on Root. Get reliable comfort year-round with a new efficient HVAC system installed and serviced by our experienced professionals.
Advanced Pools, where your pool is our pool. Here at Advanced Pools, we have been serving the Mid-South for over 25 years. We design and build beautiful custom pools and spas, and we pride ourselves in transforming your existing pool into your dream pool. We offer a full line of services, maintenance, and in-store supplies. We take pleasure in creating the backyard living experience that you and your family deserve. Have an idea for your backyard oasis? Give us a call at 837-7867. Visit us online at www.advancedpoolcare.com or come see us at 201 Commercial Drive in Atoka. Advanced Pools, where your pool is our pool.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard only at DQ. And I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's 2 kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst. Of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Southern Lawn and Pest. Our goal is to provide our customers with healthy, weed-free lawns, athletic field management, and pest-free homes while maintaining the highest level of customer service guaranteed. We use state-of-the-art products and equipment that are proven to deliver the results you want. Give us a call today at 476-8188 or visit us online at www.southernlawnandpest.com and let us help you get the lawn you've always wanted. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and you can find us on Angie's List. Southern Lawn and Pest is the athletic field management provider for Munford High School football and is a licensed, bonded, and insured company.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
Back to Covington. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you, and we are just about to wrap up halftime between Covington and Munford. Covington up 48-0 on top of the Munford Cougars. Good first half for Coach Wheeler and his senior quarterback Brock Lomax. Heck, it was a great first half for more than just Lomax. Lomax was out there running all over the place. Got him a passing touchdown as well, but got some help from Keyshawn Gant and Cordarius Page, a couple of senior tailbacks, a duo for Covington.
Yeah, last year they combined for 3,500 yards on the rushing attack. That's just absolutely insane for a duo to have that many yards. So that's something you can expect a heavy dosing of for the season to come, but obviously they haven't missed a beat from last year.
No, certainly stepped up and came out, smacked Munford in the mouth immediately with a 3-play, 85-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 44-yard touchdown rush from Brock Lomax on an option. That opening drive only took about a minute 35 off of the clock there in the first quarter, and Covington has not looked back. They have had one turnover, just an unfortunate interception off the fingertips of a wide receiver. Can't really count that one too much against Lomax. And on the flip side of that, Munford is just, they're really just trying to find some momentum here as we get set to start the second half.
Yeah, something I wanted to mention earlier, but I just never got around to it, is these teams, obviously we know they're very familiar with each other, but they saw each other last week at the Dyersburg High School Jamboree. I know they weren't on the field at the same time playing that little two-quarter matchup, but if I recall correctly, I think Munford had the first game and then Covington had the last game against Dyersburg. So that sort of gave them an opportunity last week to scout a little bit, per se, to get an idea of something they already knew, but just to confirm the personnel and stuff that they were going to have coming back this year.
Well, both teams still going through their halftime stretches. I think they might have added about a minute and a half on the game clock. Just to remind you folks, we are going to be back here in Tennessee next week. Next Friday night, we will be down the road in Munford, covering these Cougars once again as they face off against Millington in the M&M Bowl, the Armed Forces Bowl. We've covered that one the last few years, and been a lot of fun to be a part of that one. We're excited to be a part of it once again this year. Always some great hospitality between Millington and Munford anytime we go to either one of those places.
Yeah, and just the camaraderie behind they call it the bowl game. I mean, just having both teams, both communities come together, and also same type of feel, preseason matchup, early season, still trying to gain your legs about yourself, but I'm looking forward to that one next week for sure.
Yeah, and something else we can look forward to when it comes to the M&M Bowl is the uniforms, because the uniforms are always kind of outfitted in that military style. Last year, I believe it was last year, we had the kind of digital camouflage look from Munford, and I do hope that they avoid those gray jerseys once again, because the numbers were just a little bit hard to read on that digital camo, but either way, they are still really cool, and I know the players always, that's something cool for the players at the high school level to get the experience. Collegiate players get to play around in different jerseys all the time, especially these days. I mean, they come out with a different uniform combo every single week, and that's very cool that some of these high school players have a chance to experience that at least one game a season.
Yeah, and as many of our viewers on Facebook, Tubetown right now know, I mean, Covington's jerseys definitely resemble the LSU Tigers. They've got a very clean, sleek look, and they've come out and they're ready to go. I mean, I see a lot of these young men walking the sideline with their brand new white and purple Nikes and their arm sleeves, and they've just got all the gear decked out. And then across the way over there you got Munford, and I saw them rolling in with their helmets that have the huge logos. I mean, the resources available for these young athletes today, these student athletes, is just incredible, and right now they're definitely coming out to put on a show.
And when I was playing football, we were lucky if we got helmets that fit. we had to take the earpiece out of the helmet before you could take the helmet off. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced that. Maybe I just got a big head. I don't know.
They don't even wear a belt. They just have a girdle underneath their pads. And then, the old, like, you're using, like, spaghetti string to get your hip pads and your tailbone pad. I mean, that doesn't exist anymore. So
yeah, they've got the compression shorts and all kinds of cool gear going on. So we are getting ready for third quarter action here. 48-0 is the score. Covington leading over Munford, and we are set for third quarter action. Munford kicked the ball off to start tonight's ball game. Surrendered an opening touchdown drive. We're going to see if they can repay the favor here to start the third quarter with a drive of their own. Covington's crowd is getting into it, waiting on the countdown from the referee, and here we go. And from my understanding, I believe we may be in turbo clock for the entirety of this second half. Short kickoff will bounce at the 15. That's where it's scooped up by the Cougars. Large hold will run up through the middle across the 40, across the 45, drug down from behind near the 50-yard line, but a great return there by the Cougars, Eli Irvin, to open up their third quarter.
The junior streaking right down that left hash. I mean, running like he stole something. He's got that ball high and tight, and I mean, he had that crease open up, and he's the best starting field position for the Cougars so far tonight. I mean, I can't wait to see the halftime speech, how Coach Markle's kids come out and respond, and let's see if they can piece something together here.
It is, in fact, the best starting field position for the Cougars at their own 49-yard line. One back in the backfield, hands it off to Robertson. Robertson trying to keep his feet moving and stay alive here. He's able to, I think, move the pile forward for about a yard, so it should be 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Cougars. And right out of the gate, going right back to what we've seen the entire game from them. And again, the Chargers kind of holding up that front line on defense. They've been coming out, stacking the box with 7 guys all night long, and you're seeing that continue here into the third quarter. Got 3 down linemen. You got 2 defensive ends and 2 linebackers standing right in the tackle box there. Little hesitation from Adele. Adele is looking like he was getting ready to, maybe like some sort of pitch option as he faked the option up the middle But either way, that hesitation cost him, and he will be dropped at the line of scrimmage, possibly for a loss. It looks like it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, early going here, long down situation here. I'll be curious to see if they're ever going to put the ball in the air.
We haven't seen them throw the ball not once yet. 3rd and 9, now under 10 minutes left to play. Again, playing with turbo clock. 2 wide receivers on either side for Adel. There's the snap. He's looking to throw. Throws under pressure. It's caught right at the 45-yard line, and not enough for a first down, but hey, you got to credit the Cougars there for hanging on to that ball. And that's an unnamed player on our roster here, number 8, but great catch. Adel out on it. It looked like a little bit of a screen there, like a wide receiver screen. Saw the receiver almost lost it and able to wrangle it in between his knees.
Yeah, just a simple out route. I think they're going to go for it here on 4th and about 3. Let's see what they call here.
Yep, going to go for it. Again, 7 men in the box. 1 man goes in motion. Robertson takes the handoff up the middle. No, Adel keeps it himself. And he will be stopped shy of the down marker. So it'll be another turnover on downs.
Yeah, and we're starting to see some new bodies from Munford come in. So just hang with us, our rosters and stuff. We're going to try to make sure we mention everybody. I know 26 was in the game right there for Munford. That's going to be Baker Osborne at fullback. We saw Noah Robertson basically take most of the workload that first half, but I'll be curious to see who comes out right here for the Chargers.
And here comes Andrew Scott. We saw him play under center when Lomax's helmet popped off for a play earlier. So Andrew Scott, number 20, the junior, comes in to play QB. We'll dub him QB number 2 for tonight. Standing in the backfield alongside him is MJ Hayes, and it's Hayes who gets the handoff across the 50, the 45, the 40, down the near side sideline, and he is gone, folks. First play as a running back for MJ Hayes, and he'll take it to the house. That is a 56-yard rush on the first play.
That young man just picked up and went with it. I mean, he just came around the edge, and he didn't see anybody in front of him, so look at him here. Great assignment blocking right there. Makes one guy miss, and then from there, I mean, from about the 50-yard line on, look at him striding. Looks like a young Leonard Fournette out there, just knee-high, arms moving, rumbling, tumbling.
So one play, 56 yards. There's the extra point attempt. It's good. Well, Covington picking up right where they left off in that first half.
Really quick drive there. So in the second half now that we have, as we call it, turbo clock activated, the only time the clock will stop is for these changes right here in kickoff.
We're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Welcome back to Covington, Tennessee. The second half tonight is being brought to you by Bartlett Pediatric Dentistry, the City of Munford, the Woodlands at Capital Way, Henry O'Neill's Custom Painting, and Munford Pharmacy. Thank you to all of our sponsors that help bring you Prep Football every Friday night during football season.
That's right. Appreciate you guys. We could not do this without those sponsors. Short line drive kick, takes a bounce, caught at the 25-yard line, brought up the middle across the 30, and the pile will pile up around the 34-yard line. So out come the Munford Cougars once again. They had a turnover on downs their last time out. And I think if you're Coach Nick Markle, you're just telling them, hey, find the end zone just once. We just got to find the end zone once tonight and kind of get that monkey off your back, so to speak.
Yeah, and something that happens, especially, I want to say the younger generation. I feel young myself, but there's a saying that certain acts are contagious. You string a couple plays together and you get that morale building on your team, it's going to be pretty easy to get the momentum in your favor.
Handoff up the middle. I believe that was Robertson on the carry, and he's upended. See, crosses the line of scrimmage. Beg your pardon. That was, we got another unnamed player on our roster here. Looking at number 35. Can't find him. Either way, picks up about 2, maybe 3.
That's something we're going to run into in the second half as they're moving personnel in and out. You're going to have a lot of those people that they may have left their jersey back in Munford, or Covington may have it in the locker room, and they just sort of roll with the punches here.
Nobody to pitch to as Adele turned around to an empty house. I don't know if he went the wrong way or...
Watch Dyson right here on the end. He stayed with his assignment, and as soon as he saw it was busted, he goes back, makes a good open field tackle, brings them back 3, maybe 4 yards, and keeps momentum in favor of the Chargers.
Yeah, and you could see both of the tailbacks there for Munford. They both went left that time, and the running back, number 7, we don't have him, no, beg your pardon, we do. That's Bryson Jernigan. He was looking for the pitch, and it wasn't there.
And that's something we have to keep in mind. So in these styles of offense, what typically happens is they call out some type of numerical value that tells you which play the direction, or what direction the play is going. So simple miscommunication there.
6:14 left to play here in the third quarter. Timeout for Munford. We'll be back in a moment with more prep football here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
The kind of comfort you can always rely on.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you in the third quarter between Munford and Covington. The Cougars currently with the football, 3rd and 12 on their own 32-yard line. They're trailing here to the Covington Chargers, 55-0. 2 wideouts here on this third down play for Jayshawn Adele. Looking to throw, play action, little screen, dumps it out to the 30-yard line and immediately dropped. Another unfortunate break there, and again, that was number 35. Don't have him on our roster here for the Munford Cougars. I bet he probably prefers we didn't say his name after dropping that one.
4th and 12. They're going to keep the offense on the field right here, see if they can cook up something to get some type of first down.
See if they air it out again, and got another timeout from Munford.
Okay.
So we will take another timeout with them. Again, 55-0 is your score, 5:39 left to play here in the third quarter. Turbo clock is in effect. When we come back, it'll be 4th and 12, Munford football. You're watching Prep Football here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
The kind of comfort you can always rely on. The hard-working performance that gets the job done. The dependable equipment that never lets you down. The tried and the true. Here's to reliability built into everything we do. Rely on Root. Get reliable comfort year-round with a new efficient HVAC system installed and serviced by our experienced professionals.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you where it's 4th and 12 for the Munford Cougars, and they actually brought their punt team out here on 4th and long. They're going to boot it away with 5:39 left to play here in the third quarter. Turbo clock is in effect if you're just joining us. 55-0 is the score. There's the snap. Good catch and a high kick. And it gets a friendly roll for Munford. Roll down to about the 35-yard line, and that's where they will stop it dead.
Curious to see, are we still going to have Andrew Scott come out as quarterback for Covington right here? Yep, he's taking the field right now. So he's in the huddle with the Chargers. He's probably going to get a majority of the workload here in the second half and see if they can continue their momentum.
Yep, they'll set up shop on their own 35-yard line. Scott in the backfield. He's got the man who scored on that long touchdown rush a moment ago, MJ Hayes, standing next to him.
I think Munford has burned their last time out of the second half. So, I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, you're at the end of not the end of the game, but
essentially
you're sending out your reserves, your second string, some underclassmen that typically don't get a lot of work, and this is a good learning experience for them. They're getting an idea of, okay, when my guy comes out, I need to be ready in certain situations, because typically in these styles of offense and defense, you know who your next back is, you know who your next D tackle is, and they have them on rotation. So they'll say, hey, whenever you are my first and second down guy, third down, I want my short yardage D tackle in there. So learning all that, I mean, you got to take into consideration these sophomores. They've been with the team a couple months. They've been working all summer, but it's still the in-game experience right here is just invaluable.
Yeah, and that's something you can't replicate in practice. It's the experience of a live game is something you can't replicate in a practice. Option for Scott. He's going to keep it himself, and he will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage, dropped for a loss of, it looks like, about 3, maybe 4, and 2nd and 14 coming up.
You can't replicate that stuff in practice because you've got a lot of kids that are playing both sides of the ball. So you have a scout team out there, you have your second string, they're out there running the offense, and, I mean, they may have card practice where they're running the other opposing team's offense, but still, you typically know the calls, you know the assignments, you know where people are going to be going, so you just don't get that unexpected feel of having an actual competitor across the line from you.
Chargers lined up, ready to go. Handoff goes to Hayes. Hayes weaving his way between the tackles, and he will make it about the 39-yard line. We'll call it the 40. It should bring up 3rd and about 6 to go.
Okay, I've seen him run twice now. Each time, he gets so skinny when he gets through the hole. I mean, he's so narrow, and he's got really shifty hips.
Yeah, does a good job of chopping his feet.
Yeah, and he's waiting for that hole to develop. So, I mean, you like to see that, especially when you have a sophomore coming in that doesn't have as many reps. I'm sure when he was in 9th, 8th grade football, they said, hey, he's going to be a big deal when he gets up here, and now he's getting his reps. And, I mean, who knows? We may see him later in the year.
Also, just looking, MJ Hayes, just a sophomore here for the Chargers. Scott going to run this one off the right side, looking for a block. Didn't get one up the middle, and he will be dropped right about the line of scrimmage. Should bring up 4th and 6 to go, and here comes the punt team for Covington. First time they've had to boot this one away tonight.
Very unfamiliar look that we've seen here.
First time.
Lomax back to kick. They like to call him a 5-tool athlete. He's got it with his leg, his arms. He's got all the intangibles you look for.
You know, you almost have to watch out because if I remember right, I think we've seen them fake punt and just toss it downfield before. We might have seen that last year, and I can't remember. But Lomax does have a leg on him. He can boot it away. There you see, pretty decent punt from the senior. Takes a Covington bounce down inside the 30-yard line, all the way almost to the 25, it looks like. Nice little roll there for the Chargers. Clock continues to roll with 2:30 left to play here in the 3rd.
It's really entertaining from our vantage point up here that we're seeing all the coaches here on the sideline that they're not done coaching yet. Those second string guys, the guys that don't get as many reps, as soon as they're coming off the field, they're talking to them, they're telling them their assignments, they're still giving all the play calls. I mean, the game has not stopped. The scoreboard doesn't reflect that, but they're still working out there.
Yeah, and if you're Munford at this point in the ball game, you're looking at, okay, well, what are we doing right? You start trying to focus on, you know, what you did do right through the course of the night, and you try to start, you know, because the object is to build these guys up. Handoff running to the right side, looking at the scoreboard, you know they're going to be beating themselves already up enough, especially considering this is a rivalry game that has been very tight for the last 3 years.
Oh,
so
yeah,
to
absolutely.
come out and kind of come, come out and put up a goose egg so far through the first 3 quarters, that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. But again, you try to find what you can build on for the year.
All the other matchups between these two teams have ended with the difference being less than 2 touchdowns. Great play.
Here's
right
an
here.
option play. A lot of running room down the near sideline. The 40, the 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. Did he get in? Oh, no, they got him out at the 1-yard line.
This sideline.
What a run from Jayshawn Adele.
68-yarder.
And there it was, the option play we've been looking for. They fake up the middle and run to the outside. There's the athleticism we wanted to see from Adele.
Exactly, and that's just the threat of this style of offense. It's something you don't see. You don't see it very often. And as we see on the replay there, he did step out about the 2-3 yard line. So they did get the call right. But the simple misdirection, one blown assignment on the defense, and you're going to break plays like that. I mean, they're still running it in college, Georgia Tech, and similar schools.
Adele trying to get in. And he did. Snuck right past the goal line. And he will put points on the board for Munford. And now, if you're a Cougar fan, you can start to breathe a little bit easier. You're on the scoreboard for the first time here in 2018. You won't have to wait till game number 2 to celebrate a touchdown. And that alone is a good feeling.
I'm glad that was the play call there.
Adele needs that confidence.
He literally took it all the way down the field. So give him that confidence, hitting pay dirt for the first time. Hopefully we see more of that here. I'd love to see them sort of light a fire under Covington and sort of apply some pressure like, hey, you've given
the
us
game's
the game
over.
at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's over, but we're still going to come at you and try to get some points. Extra point is good, and so it's now 55-7, 25 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Turbo clock is in effect, but we're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick break. You're watching Prep Football here on Tubetown, live, local from Ritter Communications.
Advanced Pools, where your pool is our pool. Here at Advanced Pools, we have been serving the Mid-South for over 25 years. We design and build beautiful custom pools and spas, and we pride ourselves in transforming your existing pool into your dream pool. We offer a full line of services, maintenance, and in-store supplies. We take pleasure in creating the backyard living experience that you and your family deserve. Have an idea for your backyard oasis? Give us a call at 837-7867. Visit us online at www.advancedpoolcare.com or come see us at 201 Commercial Drive in Atoka. Advanced Pools, where your pool is our pool.
Welcome back to Prep Football here on Tubetown. Our second half action, I want to remind you again of our sponsors. Bartlett Pediatric Dentistry, the City of Munford, the Woodlands at the Capitol Way, Henry O'Neill's Custom Painting, and Munford Pharmacy. Thank you once again to our sponsors that bring you this action on Friday night.
Again, we couldn't do it without you guys, so if you're home enjoying that, make sure you tell those sponsors thanks for sponsoring football on Tubetown. Kickoff taken at the 5-yard line. Now at midfield, it's Hayes still on his feet across the 40, 35, 30. Drugged down from behind at the 25-yard line, and the sophomore, MJ Hayes, making a name for himself tonight against the Munford Cougars.
A good little 73-yard kickoff return there. I mean, that's a kid that we didn't see in the starting 11. I mean, he's come out in this second half, and if he didn't have a spot before tonight's game, they definitely see, looks like he got that about the 5, and they're down to the 25 now. Heck of a return right there by that young man. Good 70-yard return as we move into the fourth quarter.
As Ryan says, that does take us to the fourth with turbo clock. And when we come back, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Covington Cougars, or Covington Chargers rather, once again in Munford Cougar territory. We're back with more right after this. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard only at DQ, and I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's 2 kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst, of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short back here with you at Covington High School, where the Covington Chargers out on top of the Munford Cougars 55-7. Right before we went to break to end that third quarter, a 80-yard kickoff return from sophomore M.J. Hayes. He's standing out there lined up on the right side next to Andrew Scott. Hayes goes in motion. He gets the pitch. He's looking to run with it. Stumbles a little and brought down in the backfield. Can't blame him for stumbling just a little bit as much as he's just ran the past 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was big number 74, Ryan Byram, on the tackle. And he was a little bit off balance, but he was there to meet him right at the line of scrimmage and pushed him back for a loss of 2.
Yep, so 2nd and 12 coming up as Hayes will come over to the sideline and take a breather. Looks like we got Brayshawn Dyson coming out to spell him. Dyson will stand to the left of Scott.
I got out of breath just watching Hayes run all that way.
No doubt about it. There's the handoff. Running to his right, trying to make his way back across the original line of scrimmage is Brayshawn Dyson. Dyson also just a sophomore for Covington. He's able to pick up those yards that were lost on first down, and now it's 3rd and, they're going to mark it 3rd and 11. It looked like it was closer to 3rd and 10 to me, but we are not wearing the striped jerseys up here.
This is obviously a great game for Covington to come out and get the win, but you also have to consider the sophomores that have come in right now and that have come in and got their fair share of the workload and have come out and sort of put on a performance that these guys, I mean, they're making a name for themselves. It's something to be excited about if you're head coach Marty Wheeler.
Scott with one back standing right off his right hip. Man goes in motion. Going to be a handoff right up the middle, and once again that was Dyson taking the carry. So now that will bring up 4th and 10 as he made it back to the original line of scrimmage, only a gain of about a yard.
Checking in on our Facebook right now. Andy, sorry to interrupt you. We got a few people filtering in, catching the last seconds of this ball game. It's been a pretty one-sided affair so far. David, to answer your question, our start time tonight was 7:30, second half, turbo clock. That's in effect, and unless there is a score, which we're seeing a field goal attempt here, that's the only reason the clock will stop in the second half.
So Alex Cook getting ready to try to put this one through the uprights. A long kick, got the distance for sure, but it's a little to the left. And actually it looked like it fell just short of the goalpost. So a great attempt though from Cook. You often don't see kickers at the high school level even get to attempt to kick field goals from that far. So good trust there from Coach Marty Wheeler, just seeing if he's got the leg underneath it.
I used to have a golf coach that he would say, swing hard in case you hit it. Right there, put your leg behind it. Let's see how far you can get that ball. I mean, it was on line a little bit to the left, but I mean, that's something they're going to keep in mind moving throughout the season, knowing what he's capable of doing.
So now 1st and 10 from the 20. Cougars with it at their own 20-yard line. 8:40 left to play here in the ball game. And we had a whistle blown by the referee.
I think that was encroachment. I'm not really sure. I didn't quite see it.
Yep, they're marching it down the field. It'll spot it at the 25-yard line. That means it'll be 1st and 5 coming up for the Cougars. 8:20 to play in this one. Like they might have got him jumping off sides again. There's the handoff, goes to big number 35. He'll rumble forward, and again, not a player we've got named on our roster. Great carry though, moves the chains. 1st and 10.
That's something we really didn't see in the first half coming out of Dell. You can see here he gave a little bit of a hard count, D-tackle on the left side, hesitate a little bit. That's that little off-balance nature. That makes the difference. 2, 3, 8 yards on that carry. I mean, it really goes a long ways. There it is again.
Yeah, got a little hesitation there. Might have lost the football. Couldn't tell if he dropped it or if he just fell awkwardly. But Adele that time on the carry to the right side. Little draw play.
I think the ball may have hit the ground, but fortunately he was able to fall back on top of it.
So now 2nd and about 8 coming up. 7:14 left to play here in the ball game.
Great turnout here in Covington today. I mean, I see across the stands Munford, excuse me, they made the trip here. The band come out and showing out. Covington faithful, obviously, first game of the season. Everyone's excited.
2nd and 8. Carry goes up the middle. Number 25 on the carry, another unnamed player on our rosters. 3rd and 8 now, or excuse me, 3rd and looks like about 6 coming up here for the Cougars. 6:35 to play here in the ball game. Again, turbo clock in effect. So Adele under center, a wide receiver on either side of him. Covington still packing 6 guys in the box here. Handoff up the middle. No, Adele lost it on the, looked like he was trying to keep it on the option and lost it.
Yeah, here on the Ritter Commutation replay, you can see that's a simple replay. Adele right there is reading the D-end. If the D-end commits to the middle, he's going to keep the ball. If he holds strong, he's going to give it to the fullback. And that scenario right there, it's just one of those things that you've overextended yourself and the ball hits the fullback's arms and it just hits the turf.
Yeah, it looked like he lost it trying to rip it back out of there and keep it on that option. So now 4th and 4 coming up. Let's see if they can convert this 4th down and get a first. They've got more than enough for the first. 45-40 for Adele, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Adele will score another touchdown for the Cougars and a little bit of momentum coming through for them.
Absolutely. It appeared at the snap it was a little bit of a busted play. Just a little bit of communication there. You can see here he kind of just stood up and followed his blockers.
Yeah, great cut right there, and that was all he needed to get to the edge. Long strides. Finding the end zone for the 2nd time.
He's racked up over 120 yards here in the 2nd half.
That one was a 60-yard touchdown rush. Extra point is good. That makes it 14-55 here with 5:28 left to play here in the 4th quarter. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Southern Lawn and Pest. Our goal is to provide our customers with healthy, weed-free lawns, athletic field management, and pest-free homes while maintaining the highest level of customer service guaranteed. We use state-of-the-art products and equipment that are proven to deliver the results you want. Give us a call today at 476-8188 or visit us online at www.southernlawnandpest.com and let us help you get the lawn you've always wanted. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and you can find us on Angie's List. Southern Lawn and Pest is the athletic field management provider for Munford High School football and is a licensed, bonded, and insured company.
Welcome back to Covington. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you in the 4th quarter. 5:28 left to play. Turbo clock is in effect, and the score is 55-14. Covington well on top of Munford here. Munford capping off a hefty little drive there, an 80-yard drive as a matter of fact. 60-yard touchdown rush from Jayshawn Adele, his 2nd of the night.
Covington came out in the 2nd half, and they've done what really we anticipated. Kept the ball on the ground, attempting to just run out the last few minutes of this game, but they've been able to break a couple long drives and be able to get the few more points on the board.
Well, that time the 2 return men collide into each other. Across the 20 down to the 25-yard line, and like Hayes and one of the other players kind of arguing over who should have took that ball there.
I'm sure if he would have broke it wide open and it ended up in the end zone, he wouldn't have been complaining too much.
Now we saw Hayes, the sophomore, not only break off a big touchdown rush earlier there in the 3rd quarter, also saw him break off a nice little kickoff return there to end the 3rd quarter, an 80-yard return. That drive wound up in no points for the Chargers, but again, they are on top 55-14 here. And we'll see if they can do anything here in the remaining minutes of the ball game. Scott will hand it off. Running to his right is Brayshawn Dyson. Dyson looking for a hole to cut back up through. He's able to juke up to about the 29-yard line. Somehow picked up about 3-4 yards on the carry. There is a flag down on the field, way down on the far side 25-yard line.
Yeah, good awareness there to notice stay in bounds. I mean, it would have been easy to cut out, run out of bounds. Obviously, we're in turbo clock, so it really doesn't matter. But you like to see that type of mentality whenever you're this far along in the season.
Penalty will go on Covington, so they'll back it up 5 yards. Or maybe 10. I didn't see, was it a holding call? Illegal procedure?
I think it's procedure again. They've ran that a few times now where they send someone in motion. I'm not sure if someone's set or what the case may be.
Yeah, I think maybe multiple guys in motion at once, or
possibly
a guy doesn't come off of the line in the right way. Again, game clock continuing to tick down, under 3 minutes 40 seconds now. Andrew Scott rushes back out to the huddle with the play call. And again, a 1st and 15 coming up here for the Chargers. One wide out here on the near side. It looks like Rob Hendren. Nope, beg your pardon, not Rob Hendren. Here's Scott on the option. Keeps it himself, dives forward, gets back down to about the 22-yard line, a pickup of about 3 on the carry. Should bring up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, you'll expect a good dose of that here in the last 3 minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, I'd imagine only time for a handful more plays, maybe 4 or 5. They have it. I've noticed they have not run the play clock on the scoreboard tonight. That doesn't mean that the officials down on the field are not keeping time. So Dyson in the backfield, standing to the right of Scott. There's the option, and the handoff goes to Dyson, and I think Scott might have read that one wrong.
That's the hard thing about an option play, where you give the quarterback the ability to make the decision, because it's usually not as cut and dry as you would think it would be. The DN may just sit in a spot, and if he doesn't give one way or the other, then you're left with something like that where he held on to it a little bit too long, and then it results in a loss of a couple yards.
Yeah, it gives the rest of the defense time to catch up to what's going on. Now 2 minutes left to play. We're on 3rd and 15. Takes the handoff. Scott keeps it himself. Ball's on the ground. Did he get it back? It looked like he got to it, but I'm not sure he was able to wrangle it in. Referee says he did, so 4th down coming up here for the Chargers. Now with about 1:30 left to play here in the ball game.
I wonder why the play clock has not been running today, because I've noticed it's been sitting on 40 seconds this whole second half.
Yeah, it's been sitting that the entire game. Again, I wondered why they weren't running it as well, but I guess they're running it down on the field. 1:20 left to play here in this one. Again, we remind you folks, we'll be back here in Tennessee next week on Tubetown. The M&M Bowl, Munford hosting Millington in that big rivalry game. Always happy to be a part of that one. Looks like Covington might be ticking down to a timeout here. We'll see what they want to do. They're just going to let the clock continue to roll. And now we finally got a whistle blown, and it will be a delay of game. So they just decided to let the clock keep running and take the penalty. So again, that does show you that they are keeping a play clock.
I'm glad somebody is, because I had no idea.
But that should be enough time to just punt the ball away and end tonight's ball game.
I mean, they technically don't have to run another play.
That's what they're doing. They are headed to the sideline. They will go ahead and call this one, it looks like. So first game of 2018 is officially in the books here. Final score is going to be 15-14 Covington, beating the Munford Cougars in blowout fashion. And now the clock has hit 0. The fans storm the field, and they're out to celebrate their first win of the 2018 season.
Well, it's rightfully deserved. They came out, took care of business in the first half, We're going to see great senior leadership all year from the Covington Chargers. For the Cougars, obviously, they have a lot to work on moving forward, but with the style of offense they run, with the coaching staff they have in place, don't expect them to be just this pushover team all season, because they will prepare, they will get better, and it will be a good season for them.
Yeah, they'll figure it out for sure. 55-14 again, the final score. We're going to step aside for a quick break. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Covington. Again, the final score, 55-14. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Welcome back to Covington. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you to wrap up tonight's football game. The final score of 55-14, Covington defeating their rival from right down the road, the Munford Cougars.
Yeah, and once again, we want to thank all of our viewers on Facebook stopping by, spending a moment of your Friday night with us, bringing you some prep football from Covington, Tennessee. Brian, I know you've been hanging out with us. Rachel, Betty, Randy, Terry coming all the way from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thanks for stopping by with us. We're going to be here next week. I mean, we're not going to be in Covington, but we've got another good matchup coming up next Friday.
That's right. Munford will be taking on Millington in the M&M Bowl, which is the Armed Forces Bowl, something we love being a part of every year. It's another rivalry game, so if you're into rivalry games, you definitely want to be a part of that one. It will be a good one to watch. Again, the final score here tonight, Covington over Munford. This was a game that Covington just had control of from the get-go. They opened up with a 3-play, 85-yard touchdown drive to go up 7-0, and they never looked back from there. Brock Lomax, man, what can you say about the senior quarterback? We got to see this guy develop from a freshman all the way into a senior, and he has been such a pleasure to watch. And, I mean, showed his leadership tonight. I mean, not only can he throw the ball, but he knows how to execute that read option with the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got a great game in the backs behind him that were able to carry some of the workload as well. I would definitely be looking on your radar next week, Covington fans. He is, I'm going to say, roughly about 97 yards away from having the school record for most passing yards in a career. A kid that you guys have seen develop year in and year out, and he's just only going to keep showing his senior leadership here.
That's right. And for Munford, again, we'll be seeing them again next week. We'll see if they can find anything in their game plan that they can work on. Obviously, we did see them do some things very well there in the second half. We saw Jayshawn Adele get out on a couple of big runs, and hopefully that gives him a lot of confidence moving forward into that game next week with Millington.
Yeah, I think speaking at the beginning of the game about the youth of Munford's line of scrimmage, those guys executing their assignments, knowing what the defenses are going to be throwing at them, I think that essentially is their key to getting their offense back on track. Defensively tonight, obviously they're going up against a very offensive dominant team, but there was a few times that we saw that it was somewhat busted plays. It was the ability to be athletic and scramble out of the pocket, or just get through that first hole, and if your first person to address a back or a wide receiver is 5-7 yards down the field, it's going to be really difficult to bring down those guys.
Yeah, so again, we'll see what Coach Nick Markle and the Cougars come out with next week against Millington. And again, we will be there back to bring you that game. So go ahead and like and follow Tubetown right now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button there on Facebook so you can keep track of everything that we're doing here at Tubetown. Again, the final score 55-14, Covington over Munford. Thanks to everybody who made tonight possible, especially our sponsors, and of course our great camera crew and our executive producer Marcus Carlton as well. Appreciate everyone. For Ryan Short, I'm Andy Manus signing off for the evening. You guys have a great, safe weekend. God bless. We'll see you right back here in Tennessee next Friday night. You've been watching Prep Football here on Tubetown, live, local from Ritter Communications.